Hello friends, welcome back. Welcome back to Azure 204 Lab 7 Exercise 4. Here is the lab scenario. You can go through it if you want. And so far we are done with exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3, and in this video we'll work on exercise 4. Okay, so let's go to the instruction page. You can find the URL in the video description, and here we are going to work on exercise 4, which is access storage account blobs. So task 1 is to upload a sample storage blob. So for that we'll first go to the resource group. We'll go and select our resource group secure function, and from there we need to go and select the storage account, which is secure storage. Okay, and then we need to go and select the container, and then we'll click on the plus. So here we are going to create a container first, and the name should be drop, and access level will make it blob anonymous. Okay, so just follow me here. Let me just close everything first. Okay, so resource groups, I'll go and select our secure function, which is our resource group. And now I have to select the storage account. Okay, next task is to look for the containers. Okay, so storage account, here blob service, and here is we have containers. So we need to create a new container here. Name should be drop, and access level going to be blob anonymous. Okay, let's just verify. Yes, blob anonymous, and then you click on create. So let's create the container. So now here you can see our container drop is ready. Next is that we need to upload a blob in the container. So we need to go and select records.json file from lab 7 repository. Okay, so I'll go here, upload. Here is our upload window. Let me just go and select. So we have to go to lab 7 here, starter, and records.json file. Click on overwrite, upload. It's done. So now in our container we have one file called records.json. So here we are done with step 9. Okay. Now next thing is that we need to go to the blob, and you should notice that JSON. Okay. So now we need to view the content of our JSON file. Okay. So okay, so let's go and complete the until step 15. So we'll focus on 10 to 15. So we just need to view the content of our JSON file. So I'll just copy this URL, which is here, and I'll paste this one here in the tab. So now here you can see our JSON. Okay, now let's go back. Let me just close this one, and I'll go back here. Now back from the container blade, change access level policy. Okay, so now we are going to restrict the blob. We do not want anyone to go and access our file. So I'll just go back, change access level. Let's go and select private. Okay, and yeah, we have changed the permission. Now if I go and refresh, right, I should not be able to access. It says resource not found. Perfect. So here we are done with task 1. Task 2, it says add a .NET application setting. So for that we need to go to our resource group. From there we need to go to our function app, and then we need to go to the configuration option so that we can go and create a new settings. Okay, so here, okay, let me close. So here is our resource groups. I'll go and select the group. Let me just open the function app, which is here. Now let's go and look for the configuration here. So here we need to create a new application settings. So I'll just open. Let's go and check for the values. It says in the name you enter this particular value, and in the value enter false. Okay, and the value false. Okay, and then leave the deployment slot as it is. Click on OK, return to the configuration and save changes. Okay, let me just go and save, continue. Okay, so here we are done. We have new settings now. Okay, so here we are done with task 2 as well. Task 3, it says that pull the storage account SDK from Nuget. Okay, so for that we need to go to the secure function, our resource group. From there we need to go to the function app, and from the app service blade, select app service editor preview option from the development tools section, and then app service editor preview, click on go. Okay, so let's just open the editor. So secure function here. Now we need to go to the app service. So here development tools and app service editor. Okay, and click on go. So it will open an online editor. Okay, now let's go back to the instruction page. It says that in the app service editor browser window, expand the file parser folder, open the context menu, and then select new file. And then we need to give name as function.pros. So here we are. Here's the folder file parser. We need to create a new file and we'll name it as function.pros and hit enter. So here you will see your file and the editor. Okay, which displays an empty code editor. Perfect. Now in the editor we need to add this particular piece of code. Let's go and paste here. Saved. Okay. Now close the browser window. Okay, let me just go and close. Next, okay, so close the browser window with the app service editor. Okay, so we are done with the task 3 as well. Now task 4, what it says, update the namespace references. So for that, we need to go to our resource group. We need to go and select our function, secure function app, and then from the app service blade, functions, and from the functions pane, select the existing file server function to open the editor for the function, and then go to the code plus test under the developers options. Okay, just follow me here. Let me just close everything. So here is our function app, and here we need to go to the functions. It should see file parser, and then we need to go to here code plus test. Okay, perfect. So here we are done until here, step 6. Now in the code editor, delete the existing code. Let's go and add this particular namespace. We just control delete and okay. Now next is that we need to go and add the Azure blob storage namespace. So I'll copy this one, Azure blob storage, and I'll paste this one here. Okay, now let's go back. So we need to add one more namespace. Now, so our run method should look something like this. So we need to add these two more, and there should be a run method. Okay, so I'll just copy the entire thing and I'll delete everything from here. I'll paste it here. Okay, so we are good here. Let's go back. Now, task 5th, it says write storage account code. Okay, so now we need to add following piece of code, this particular line in our run method, and this particular string will get the connection string. Okay, so I'll paste the code here. Next, that we need to add the following line to create a new instance of blob service client, and here we need to supply the connection string as a parameter. Next is that we add the following line of code. So basically this particular piece of code, what it will do is that it will go and read the container from the blob. So basically here is client. So we are going to make use of this client to get this particular container, which is drop. Now the next piece of code, this particular line will read the data from the container, from the drop, right? And we are going to read this particular file from the container records.json. Okay, simple. Now, so here it is. So our run method should look something like this, and I think we are good here. So let me just go and save. Now next task is to download a blob. So we need to add this particular piece of code to download the content of the referenced blob asynchronously and store the result in a variable. So let me just go and put it here. So this particular function blob client will download the data, this particular JSON file, and store into this particular variable called response. Next to that, add the following line of code to return the various content stored in the content variable by using the file stream class constructor. Okay, so let's go and put this down here. So our entire run method should look something like this. Here should this particular. Okay, so here we are good. Now we need to go and save. Let's test. So let's come back here. Now we need to run, and in the output, observe the output content of the slash drop slash records.json blob storage in your storage account. So let me just go and run. So now if I go, so here is our JSON. Okay. Now let's go back. It says that you should see our records.json in the output. So here if you guys observe the code, you will see that initially we have used connection string, right, to access the blob storage account, and then we have used blob service client to access our storage account. Then we have used this service client to make use of to connect or access the container, and then from the container we are downloading records.json file, okay, which is here, and then later we are printing the results, like we are just displaying the response, right? So that's it about exercise 4. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.